Today, we're going on the second half of the room tour. Stick around.
DJ Links is in the building.
So today we're going to start out with the second most important shelf in the room, and that's the Alien/Predator shelf. I am a huge Alien and Predator fan, and these are some pieces that I absolutely love. First, we're going to start out with the Sideshow maquette of the Alien Big Chap. This thing is absolutely amazing and is one of the biggest statues that I have in the collection outside of the 1/1 scale busts. Next to him, we have a legendary scale bust of an Aliens warrior from the movie Aliens. A legendary scale bust is a 1:2 ratio, which is half the size of a life-size bust. This thing is absolutely incredible. The Geiger design is just phenomenal. Behind the alien bust, and these are some things I have to get bigger risers for, but behind the alien bust is the Bone Grill Predator bio helmet. They're not masks, they're bio helmets. Bio helmet from Aliens vs. Predator. This is the first bio helmet that I actually bought. I saw it and I was just like, yo, that's cool. And I didn't have anywhere to put it, but whatever. This is pretty dope. In the middle here, keeping up with the bio helmet theme, we have the Berserker Predator from the Adrian Brody Predators movie, and this thing is sick. It's got like a black finish to it. You could see the wear and tear on the top of the helmet, and then of course it has that jaw. This thing is dope. Right next to him is Dutch from Predator. I've said it a million times, Predator is my favorite movie of all time. I honestly think that it is Arnold Schwarzenegger's best acting job as Dutch Schaefer, and I absolutely love this Sideshow piece. This is a premium format, quarter scale, mixed media elements. You got the fabric pants, the fabric vest, the faux leather like knife holster and stuff. This thing is absolutely incredible. Behind Dutch here is another Predator bio helmet. This is of the classic Predator as seen in the Adrian Brody movie Predators. This is when he put on his helmet and it was all messed up, and you know, he got busy. He helped Adrian Brody get busy. And then finally on this shelf, this is one of the grail pieces that I consider in my collection. This is the Sideshow Predator maquette. This is the deluxe version that comes with the extra unmasked head sculpt. This thing is absolutely incredible. I remember when I got this years ago, I was just like, that's it. This is gonna be the last piece in my collection. And of course, I lied. Sticking with the Sideshow theme, this is my statue shelf. And out of everything you see in the room, I had these things the longest. So my collection before slabs, before hot toys, before anything else was Sideshow statues. So we're gonna start it over here. This is the Lord of Darkness from the movie Legend, the Tom Cruise movie. One of the best fantasy movies in my opinion. And this Lord of Darkness is the best representation of a devil character ever on film. I absolutely love this. When I saw Sideshow release this, I had to get it. Mixed media elements, you got the fabric pants, you got the hooves for the feet, and of course those iconic devil horns. Tim Curry killed it as the Lord of Darkness, and this statue is a perfect representation of that. Moving on, we have Freddy and Jason from the Freddy vs. Jason movie. Honestly, I got these because the price was insane. Basically, I got Jason and then Freddy for free. The likeness, of course, with any Sideshow statue is impeccable. The fabric coat and the fabric sweater on Jason and pants are dope. Freddy Krueger, same thing, fabric sweater and fabric pants. Iconic. Next up, we have the Terminator 2 Battle Damage life-size scale bust of an endoskeleton. I saw this and I just needed it. This thing is absolutely dope. The eyes light up. I think the batteries are dead, but the eyes do light up, and it's a fantastic piece. Next to that, we have a premium format of the T-800 endoskeleton as seen in Terminator 2. This was actually the first statue Sideshow piece I ever picked up. I absolutely love the endoskeleton design. Big shout out to Stan Winston. His designs are iconic within the movies and creature culture, or whatever you want to call it. Of course, you can't have Terminator statues without Arnold Schwarzenegger from Terminator 2. Iconic movie, the greatest action movie of all time. And this is him when he was just like, you know, loading up that rocket launcher. The likeness on the statue is dope. I like that he's not looking straight on and he's kind of like leaning over the shoulder right there. This is absolutely dope. But my favorite Terminator piece is this T-800 from Terminator 1, the assault on the police station statue. This thing is absolutely incredible. Again, mixed media elements, leather jacket, you got the shirt, the pants, the boots are freaking dope. You got the bullets falling on the police station floor, iconic shotgun, and then that whatever that is, that mini AK, I don't know, machine gun. This thing is absolutely dope. I think the likeness is dead on. This is probably one of my favorite statues in the piece DC, definitely my favorite statue of Arnie. And you can't have Aliens, Predator, Terminator without having RoboCop. This is RoboCop as he's depicted in the first film. This thing, it actually looks dated. I don't think it's held up well throughout the years, but you can tell it's RoboCop. I got this back in the day, and you know, I dig it. I dig it. It was mainly a completion piece. Like I said, you can't have these sci-fi icons without having RoboCop. Next to RoboCop, we have Sideshow's premium format of Tony Montana, and I can tell you this statue has not aged well. The likeness is terrible. This was one of the first statues that I got. I think after the T-800 endoskeleton, I picked this guy up. The base is pretty cool. It has the metal plate on the front there, but overall, this statue did not stand the test of time. And then behind him, we have the Tony Montana 1-to-1 bust, life-size bust. And this thing, again, the likeness is not all there. Doesn't really look like Al Pacino. You know it's Tony Montana, but this is like one of those things where this is like 10 years old, probably older, and is actually one of the rarer statue pieces in the collection. There were only 60 pieces of this statue made. Now, sandwiched between the Sideshow statues and the slabs, we have another Hot Toys shelf, this time representing all of my DC figures from the DCEU, the Nolan universe, and Batman 89 universe. And then we have some Star Wars figures as well as some movie figures that we're gonna get to. So let's start out on this side. We're gonna start out with Ben Affleck's Batman. He is my favorite Batman, my favorite representation of Batman, both in figure form and on the big screen, so you know I had to get him. This is the way he appeared in BVS, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Behind him, we have Aquaman from the Aquaman film. I'm not a big fan of the Aquaman film. It was a fun film, but this representation of Aquaman is probably the best out of all the Aquaman figures that were released. Next, we have Superman flying back there, looking dope as hell. This is actually the first Hot Toys figure that I bought. I went into Midtown Comics and I saw him. I wasn't in the market for Hot Toys or anything, and something just drew me to this figure. Still to this day, I think this is one of the best Hot Toys figures ever released. Below him, we have Wonder Woman as depicted in Wonder Woman 1984. This is the pinnacle Wonder Woman figure in my opinion. Her colors are nice, they're vibrant, the likeness to Gal Gadot is spot on, and of course what drew me to this figure is the sculpted hair as opposed to the rooted hair that came with the Wonder Woman from the BVS line. Next to them, we have Deadshot as depicted in the Suicide Squad. This is a dope ass figure. The character design is fantastic. Behind him, we have Joker from Suicide Squad, Jared Leto's Joker from Suicide Squad. Not my favorite Joker, but the figure looks dope. Moving up front, we have General Zod from Man of Steel. And then up here, up front, Harley Quinn from the Suicide Squad. Up front, we have Two-Face from Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. This is the first release of Two-Face. Next to him, we have Heath Ledger's Joker, the best Joker ever put on film, and this Hot Toys figure represents that. Behind him, we have King Shark. Now, King Shark's placement on the shelf, yo, I totally forgot I had this figure. I unboxed everything and left them out, so I had to just scramble and put him somewhere. King Shark from the James Gunn Suicide Squad. And then up top, we have Christian Bale's Batman. This one is specifically from The Dark Knight Rises, and I love how he's just grilling the Joker from back there. Moving on, we have the Scarecrow from Batman Begins, and this is him in his regular suit with his Scarecrow mask, pretty dope. Next to him, we have Michael Keaton. This one is from Batman Returns, an absolutely fantastic figure. In front of him, the OGs, the reason that I fell in love with Batman. We have Adam West and Burt Ward from Batman 66. And then in front of them, we have Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. And then to the left of that Batman 66, we have the Joker, Jack Nicholson, as represented in Batman 89. Now moving on to the Star Wars part of the shelf, we have a couple of First Order Stormtroopers flanking Kylo Ren. I absolutely love this Kylo Ren figure. This Kylo Ren figure is actually one of my favorite figures, not only in the Star Wars realm, but of both. I absolutely love the way that he's portrayed here, and this pose really does it justice. Behind him, we have Emperor Palpatine, which is super dope. Next to him, we have Darth Maul from The Phantom Menace. Then behind them, the granddaddy of all the Star Wars figures, Darth Vader. This thing is absolutely fantastic. It's the first Star Wars figure that I purchased, and I love it. To his left, we have Chewbacca, and then Han Solo from A New Hope. In front of them, we have Luke from A New Hope, as well as Princess Leia, and then Yoda right there in the middle. All the way in the front here, we have R2-D2, and then you'll notice a space. This space is reserved for C-3PO when it's released. Moving on over, the newest Star Wars figure to join the fray, we have the Mandalorian and of course Grogu. I think when this was released, it was still called the Child, Mandalorian and Child. Behind him, another Mandalorian. This is Boba Fett from the old school Star Wars movies, looking sick. And then finally, behind Boba Fett, Captain Phasma from the new trilogy. Now getting out of the Star Wars and transitioning to some sci-fi action movies. So we have John Wick, which is a fantastic piece. The likeness to Keanu Reeves is amazing. Now let's start with the back portion of this. We have three Predators representing. We have the Scar Predator. This is the first Predator hot toy that I got, and I loved it. Next to him, we have the Wolf Predator from Alien vs. Predator Requiem. And then finally, we have the City Hunter Predator, which I had for a long time, and it's a figure that I absolutely love. Now in front of those, we're gonna start out with Arnold Schwarzenegger as depicted in the beginning of the first Terminator film. This is the T-800 Cyberdyne Systems Model 101. I absolutely love this thing. Next to him, we have a representation of RoboCop here. Now this Hot Toys figure of RoboCop is absolutely spot on. And then here we have Arnold Schwarzenegger as John Matrix from the movie Commando. Insane amount of accessories, insane amount of weapons, and the likeness is absolutely spot on. And then finally on the Hot Toys front, we have Neo from the classic, one of my favorite films, The Matrix. Neo here as depicted in the lobby scene from the movie where he goes and he's just like, we need to get Morpheus. The likeness to Keanu Reeves is absolutely spot on. Now moving on to the Slab Shelf. These are slabs that I would consider very nostalgic to me. I still have bigger keys in the bins, but I wanted to display these pieces because these mean the most to me. Well, most of them mean the most to me. So we're gonna start out with Hell Crow, King of Hell, Uranium Age Comics. This is my first ever exclusive that I ever released, and I'm super proud of this piece. This is a yellow label. This one was signed by Javon Jordan and myself, and I absolutely love this thing. A lot of effort went into this to get it out, and we were able to sell out 100 copies in I think 2 weeks. Next to that, Dead End #1, another Javon Jordan story. This time the cover was done by Matt Wilson. This thing is again special to me. It was my second exclusive. This one was a New York Comic Con exclusive. Being from New York and having a New York Comic Con exclusive drop, being able to sit at a booth and sell this thing, it was a dream come true for me and a super emotional moment. This is in a CGC 9.8. Moving on, we have the 30th anniversary of Spawn #1. This is a custom sketch cover done by the very talented Austin LeMay, good friend Austin LeMay, community member Austin LeMay. I love this thing. I remember seeing this and I was just overcome with emotion. Custom sketch, Austin LeMay's signature and Todd McFarlane's signature with the words nice art on it. This thing is absolutely incredible. Here we have Infinity Gauntlet #1 from 1991 in a yellow label, CGC 9.8 white pages, signed by the late great George Perez. I remember showing this to people and they were like, why didn't you get Stan Lee to sign it? Or why didn't you get Jim Starlin to sign it? No, it was George Perez who did the art, and I'm glad I did. He, passed away a few years ago. Next, we have Amazing Spider-Man #347 from 1991, CGC yellow label 9.6. This one is signed by Randy Emberlin, Eric Larson, and Stan Lee. This is without a shadow of a doubt my favorite cover of all time. I absolutely love this cover. And of course, having those signatures, they just add so much to this piece. Moving on, we have Spider-Man #1 from 1990, CGC yellow label 9.8 white pages, signed by Todd McFarlane. This is the book that got me into comics. Highly produced, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It is super special to me. Next up, we have X-Men #1 from 1991. This one is signed by Chris Claremont, Jim Lee, Stan Lee, and Scott Williams. Again, this is another one of those books that millions of these were produced. This book, you could probably get it. It's the collector's edition, but you could probably get it for $5 or cheaper. Obviously, this one being quadruple signed adds value to this piece, but signatures aside, X-Men #1 is one of my favorite books of all time. Next up, we have New Mutants #87 from 1990. This is in a CGC 8.0 white pages. This is the first appearance of Cable. I remember when Cable was first introduced, I fell in love with him right away. Super diesel, super big, pouches galore, weapons. He just looks super bad and imposing. And obviously I have a thing for those characters that are just big, imposing, masculine, because I grew up on those 80s action movies, and this was like a callback to those movies. Next up, we have New Mutants '98. This is from 1991, CGC 9.6, and this is the first appearance of Deadpool, and I loved Deadpool back in the day. Not so much now. Here we have Amazing Spider-Man #361, CGC 9.8 white pages. This is in the newsstand. This is the first appearance of Carnage. If you notice the time frame of all these pieces. This is all my childhood. Carnage was my guy. Evil Carnage and Evil Venom, dope. Next up, it's a modern book, and it's probably the most important modern Marvel key that's out. And this is Ultimate Fallout number 4, the first appearance of Miles Morales. Again, this is one of those books where I consider it like the modern age Amazing Fantasy 15. If you can get your hands on this at a decent price, I urge you to pick it up. And then lastly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why this is here. I think I messed up, but lastly, we have Venom number 3 from 2018. This is the first appearance of Null. This is the third printing, so if it's a third printing, does that really make it the first appearance? But I absolutely love the cover. That's probably why this is on the shelf. Again, Venom number 3, 9.8, first appearance of Null. So down here we have some more bins. I believe all of these are like indie bins and DC. And then over here we have some slabs and all these short boxes with the community member stickers on them. These are the short boxes that I bring to shows. So all this stuff in these boxes are for sale. I like to represent with the community on all of them so that when I'm at a show, I'm vending, these things are on the table. It looks fantastic. It makes me stand out and it shows that I am a true member of the community. I'm representing the community wherever I go. Checking out the closet here, this is where I keep my shipping supplies, and then I got some more comic book bins on the bottom. That's actually my reading queue, those 3 bins. But up top, I'm really proud of this. This is my graphic novel shelf. I didn't know I had this many graphic novels because when this room was like my storage room, I just kept them in random spots. They weren't all together, but seeing them all together brings a smile to my face. A bunch of classic books. Some of my highlights are that run of The New 52 Batman by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite runs of all time. Of course, Dual Powerbomb, Murder Falcon, the Ice Cream Man trades, a bunch of stuff, all the Immortal Hulk trades. Even though I have the single issues, I also picked up the trades. And I actually prefer reading in graphic novel form as opposed to weekly floppies. And that's gonna do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. As always, subscribe, like, hit that notification bell. Share this video, tell your friends about me. Consider joining the Link Squad through the Patreon link that's down in the description. And as always, most importantly, spread love because it's the Brooklyn way. Peace.